morality is not enough. We need to be men and women of character. And I couldn't take people where I was unwilling to go myself. When I looked at the decreasing voter turnout rate, voter participation rate in our own county, it saddened me. It's dropped now below 50%, and they're expecting this turnout to be anywhere from 15 to 20%. And so I stepped into this race to make a difference with the people whose lives I have an influence over. And I wanted to see them embrace once again this gift of a republic that we have. And so I stand before you today just like you. I have a college degree from Fresno State. If you're wondering where Fresno State is, it's the Harvard of the San Joaquin Valley. I graduated with a history degree. My wife and I have been married 25 years. When I graduated from Fresno State, I went into sales. I worked for Helene Curtis, Cheeseboro Ponds, Unilever, AC Nielsen. I became a divisional manager. I went on to seminary and committed my life to the ministry, and we've been doing that for the last 20 years together in our married life. I would also share with you that I was born and raised in a town called Coronado, California. My father was a naval officer. We come from a long family of public service. My father had 3 tours of Vietnam. Right now he's in a rest home with Alzheimer's. He may not make it to his 86th birthday. I wanted to say goodbye to him last Thursday. And as I look at my father's legacy and my mother's legacy, she was the president of Republican Women, and for those of you who are Democrat, I would just simply say this is the joy of America, that we can agree that we disagree, but we still engage in this representative form of government. And so, having experienced this in Coronado and growing up in a city that no longer had large developments, but we had to live within our means, and the decreasing revenues and the increasing costs, we watched as Coronado became a resplendent city. And then I contrast that with the city that I got my education in, Fresno, California, that was run by developers and special interests, similar to the ones that want to redevelop our downtown with high density and mixed use. And we watched as they absolutely destroyed Fresno, and it became the city with the second highest murder rate, second highest car theft rate. But when the public and the private sector came together, and we saw the largest decrease in crime in FBI statistics history of a city that size, it became America's finest city in '97. I participated in all those events. And I stand before you today, here to earn your vote. Before you leave, all of you will have my cell phone number. Just like Chase, I want to be accessible. I don't want to get more people to the city council meetings. I want to bring the city council meetings to the people. There's no reason why we can't have a satellite feed right here with live questions and have one at the Goebel Center and one over at the Newberry Park Library so that people can participate in the city council meetings instead of a handful of people in the back room making decisions for us and complaining that no one can navigate the halls of confusion of government to try to get to a city council meeting on an odd day of the week in a very difficult time. So I'm here to represent you, and I'd be honored for that opportunity. Again, I'm Rob McCoy, and I'm running for city council. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rob. Elizabeth is, if anybody's starting to have some questions, please hold the card up into the air. I have one that I'll start with to get people going. Do you need a card, or do you have a book? You have a card?
Well, I wrote a card, but I have
Okay.
no question.
All right, well, I'll get to that now. We're going to start with the cards. I do want to, before anyone has a chance to leave, that means you, Esther. Oh, she's leaving. The election is June 2nd, so it is a special election. I didn't say this at the beginning because I wanted everyone here. It is really important that you all vote. I think one of you told me that 20 votes can make a difference, and because it's such a small turnout. So this room could make a difference. You need to vote. You can do it by mail. All it has to do is be in by June 2nd. You can take it in that day. Our drivers can take it for you. You still have your voter mail-in ballot. So please make sure you get it done after today, and somewhere between today and June 2nd. You got some questions for me? Okay, these can be either to an individual or to all three. First, I'm going to start with one that is probably for, I kind of got a feeling from Rob, unless I'm off, that you chose to do this because of the things you've seen elsewhere. You said, I need to get involved in government. But I want to know from Chase and from Dan, was there a catalyst? Was there one thing that really made you make this decision to step up? Or is this something you've been wanting to foray into politics, and that's why you're kind of here today doing this?
If I said 5th or 6th grade was probably the time when I got selected for one of the volunteer things you do in 5th or 6th grade. Through high school, I participated in something called Key Club through the Kiwanis Club, and I was actually chosen as the Boy State representative. Meeting a gentleman by the name of Philo Chambers, who he's been gone about 15 or 20 years. Philo Chambers helped to create an organization of young men, and then also now there's one for young women as well, to teach them the things about civics that are not being taught in our classes today. In fact, if you looked at our curriculum, you think, where's the civics courses? Where's the history courses? They're not there like they were before. So it was a civics class and actually Boy State representative that actually got me to a point where I said, I want to give back someday. Cheers.
I've always been interested in politics. First off, I was taught to read from the newspaper by my grandmother and not from the comics either, just the regular news. So very interesting things I learned there. My grandfather was in the military and he went on to serve on a board of supervisors in Amelia County, Virginia. He pretty much was my political mentor. He actually helped build a veteran cemetery out there. So it's kind of what I sort of grew up wanting to do it. I had decided at some point that I didn't really want to be involved in it because of the negativity. I said, why should I subject myself to that? But then I saw some issues around the city that I didn't really like how they were being handled, such as what happened at Westlake Plaza. And I said, okay, well, I can suck it up and do this for the city and help make a good contribution to the city.
And a separate question for Rob specifically is, how do you envision your commitment to ministry influencing your city council service?
During the Assembly campaign, I was endorsed by Governor Rick Perry, Senator Rand Paul, also Governor Bobby Jindal, Governor Mike Huckabee. And the reason why is because we look at a community, we're segmented by minorities nowadays. That seems to be how people operate. And they placed me in a minority called the faith community. There's 85 million in the faith community in America. Of those 85 million, only 25% of them vote. And so the idea is, since 1954 with the Johnson Amendment, there's been a removal of influence from the pulpits in America to engage in the political process for fear of losing what they call their tax-exempt status. And there's never been a case in the history of the United States where that's happened. And so I stepped forward because the folks in our community were not engaging in the voting process, only 25% of the 85 million. And as I looked at that, I thought the skill set of a pastor is very similar to that of somebody who would hold office. The idea is you're a professional listener. That's what they teach you in seminary, to listen. You have 2 ears and 1 mouth. And so you listen. And secondly, you want to make good things happen for people. And as a result, on the front lines of dealing with every social issue imaginable, and as a Ventura County Sheriff's chaplain as well, I'm there at a critical stage in somebody's life. I've been at the bedside of over hundreds of people who have passed to comfort the families and understand their needs. I've been the one that they've come to when they can't make their mortgage payment or they're being evicted from their home. These are issues that you deal with day in and day out on a frontline basis as opposed from a distance. And the thing in a church is you can't raise taxes. It's amazing how politicians love to spend other people's money and be very generous with other people's money. I know how to live within the means to understand that the need has to be met with the resources that are available instead of milking the system. And so all of the skill set that comes with what I've been doing for the last 20 years is applicable to serving. It used to be that somebody who would serve in office was called a public servant. And that's exactly what I desire to do, is to serve you. And so there's my answer. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rob. Okay, I'm going out into the audience because, Sally, I'm reading your question. And I can, but